Hey guys, how are you all doing? So today I'm going to be filming the mid-year book freakout tag. So this is a book tag that people do every single year where you basically just have a mid-year check-in, talk about some of your favorite books from the year, some of your least favorite books from the year, and kind of just share your feelings about some of the books you read in the year. It's a pretty self-explanatory tag. I'm sure you all know what it is, so let's just get started. So the first question is the best book that you've read so far in 2018, and this was like a hard question for me to answer because I've read so many great books this year, but one of the first ones that came to my mind was Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. It's hard to believe that I only read it this year, because it feels like forever ago that I read it, like I'm already ready to reread it. But I adored this book so much. You guys can see me talking about it in a wrap-up at some point this year. But I really related to it in a lot of different aspects, in like the fangirl aspect, in the fandom, and having anxiety, because the main characters do deal with anxiety. And this book was just really amazing, and it really hit home for me, and it gave me something to connect to, and I just really enjoyed it. It was everything that I wanted it to be and more, and I'm just completely in awe of it, and I really want to reread it. And if you guys have not read it already, I highly recommend it. The second question is the best sequel you've read so far in 2018, and I couldn't pick just one because I had two really great contenders for this one. We have Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, which is the sequel to Scythe. It's the second book in the Arc of a Scythe series. I loved this book so freaking much. This series is so enjoyable. It's so much fun. It's just packed with such greatness. Like, I don't even know how to explain this. I was just watching Rocky from Blonde with the Books May wrap up, and she was so eloquent when she talks during her wrap ups, and she is able to portray the way that she feels and her opinions about the books so beautifully. And then here I am just rambling on and on, being like, it was good. I don't know why it was good, but it was good. So it was good. And then the second best sequel that I've read so far this year is Wires and Nerve Volume 2 Gone Rogue. This is the graphic novel kind of spin-off companion series to the Luna Chronicles, and I highly enjoyed this one. I loved it way more than the first one because I reread the first one before going into this one, and then I jumped into this one right away, and I can tell you with great confidence that I loved this one so much more. I love them both, obviously, but this one just had something extra to it. I don't even know. I don't even know. Oh my god, I was so captivated by the story. I loved being with my favorite characters again and getting new content with them. And I was just rooting for them, and I was so scared for them the whole time, and it was just such a thrilling sequel. And I'm pretty sure this is the last one. I'm pretty sure it's a graphic novel duology, and that's depressing. Is there another one? I don't even remember. I hope there's another one because this is freaking great and I love it so much. Third question is new release you haven't read yet but really want to, and for me, I don't even own it yet, but that is Save the Date by Morgan Matson. It recently came out at the beginning of this month, and it was literally my most anticipated book of the year because Morgan Matson is one of my favorite authors of all time, definitely my favorite contemporary author. But I'm saving up my money for my road trip come August, and so I'm not buying books at the moment. I am really upset that I haven't bought it and that it's not in my possession. I will buy it eventually, and I will adore it. I guarantee it. Number 4 is the most anticipated release for the second half of 2018, and for me that is Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare, which is the third book in the Dark Artifices trilogy. It's also the finale. I haven't even read Lord of Shadows yet, but I loved Lady Midnight, so I know that I'm going to love it. And when I was thinking about the rest of 2018 and the books coming out, that was the first one that came to mind. It's really the only one that I'm really excited for the end of the year that I'm aware of, so I cannot wait. I've just been putting off Lord of Shadows for so many different reasons, and I'm really excited for Queen of Air and Darkness. It's gonna kill me, I already know it, so plan my funeral. I am ready. Number 5 is your biggest disappointment, and for me that is Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. If you guys saw my, I believe, April wrap up, you guys will know that I was very, very disappointed with this book. I feel like most people are disappointed by this book. I have seen a few wrap-ups and such where people actually did really enjoy this book, and I am so happy that people are enjoying it. I just didn't, and I find that the majority of people, at least that I watch and that I've seen on BookTube, have not enjoyed it, and that is really sad because I really wanted to love it, and as I was reading it, I really was loving it and I really was enjoying it. And I think that's one of those situations where you're just so excited for a book and you're just so into it that you're not really thinking as you're reading it, and then the second you put it down and you take a second and take a step away from it, you realize all of the problems in it and all the things that you disliked about it that you weren't acknowledging as you were reading it. And I felt like I was in denial the whole time I was reading it because I could kind of feel that I wasn't loving it as much as Simon, at least, but I didn't want to admit that to anyone because I was like, I'm supposed to love this book. I really wanted to love this book, and this was one of my most anticipated reads of the year because I love Simon so much. But this book was just not what I wanted it to be at all. It was just a huge disappointment, and I'm so happy if you loved it. I didn't, and I really wish that I did. Trust me, if you loved this book, I envy you. I know that Lorena, my friend, really loved this book, and I can't relate. I'm so angry about it. Number 6 is Biggest Surprise. So for me, that is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Yes, I had to mention both books in the series because they're just that amazing. But I was not expecting to love this book as much as I did. Obviously, I picked it up. I thought I was gonna like it. I just didn't think I would be so invested and so in love with it by the end. It was phenomenal, and I just wasn't expecting it. So it was a huge surprise to me when I was obsessed with it. I couldn't stop talking about it. I was telling everyone about it, and my mom made me stop talking about it because she found the whole concept of the scythe to be gross. But I loved it, and I just read it. It's so good. Number 7 is Favorite New Author, and I did not prepare an answer for this because I don't know. I haven't read a lot of books from the same author this year, and a lot of just one book from an author, and so I can't say that they're a new favorite author. I don't really have a new favorite author. I just haven't read things that have made me feel that way about an author yet this year, so yeah. Number 8 is Newest Fictional Crush, and for me that is Wallace from Eliza and Her Monsters. I just thought he was so adorable, and I loved him so much, and he's into cosplay, which is amazing, and there's just so many things about Wallace that I love. Newest favorite character, and for that, I think the only reason why this person's my new favorite character for this year is because I just read this book, and that is Sage from Geekerella by Ashley Poston. She's our main character, Elle's best friend, I guess, or becomes her best friend during the course of the story, and I love her so much. She's just, I don't know, as I was starting the story, I wasn't expecting to love her. She was just kind of there. She works with Elle on the food truck, and she didn't really talk to Elle, but then she was helping her with her cosplay, and just this beautiful friendship formed, and Sage was just so good for Elle, pushing her to do things. She was also just really supportive and super, just amazing. Number 10, Book That Made You Cry. So when I was curating this list, I was like, I don't think a book has made me cry except rereads, which I'm not including on this list. I was like, I don't think a book has made me cry yet, at least not that I could remember. And then I was like, wait. Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. Whew, the ending. I believe it was the last story. Made me bawl. I was just crying, and because something happened to this character, and I didn't even realize that I cared so much about this specific character until this thing happened to him, and I was sobbing, and I was like, where did these feelings come from? It was just so out of the blue, and I was like, oh my god, I'm in love with this character, and this thing's just happened to him, and I'm like, oh, my brain. So yeah, this book made me cry like a little baby. Favorite book to movie adaptation you've seen this year? So my favorite book to movie adaptation is Love, Simon. It's also the only books movie adaptation that I've seen this year, I'm pretty sure. So like it wins by default, but it was so good. If you guys don't know, I saw it like 5 times in theaters, I think. I watched it once since it's come out, and so in total I've seen it like 6 times. But it is perfection. It just brings me so much joy. It makes me cry. It's beautiful. It's not like the most faithful adaptation like plot point wise, but it keeps the heart of the story, which in some cases is all you can really ask for in an adaptation, and it just did such a good job. Number 13 is favorite video that you have done this year. My favorite video is the one that I actually just posted, which is my Cramathon reading vlog, because I want to get into reading vlogs. That's like a video that I've been watching on like repeat recently, like just everyone's reading vlogs, and so I wanted to make my own, and I really love the way that vlog turned out. I mean, it's 35 minutes long, so like I understand if you don't want to watch it, but please go watch it if you feel like sitting for 35 minutes watching little old me talk about my reading. But I'm so proud of that video. It took me a long time to edit, and I'm really happy that I did it, and it was just really fun. The number 14 is the most beautiful book you've bought in this year. So Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi is one of the prettiest books that I've actually ever seen in my life. It's unfortunate that I didn't love it, but it's really, really pretty. So like it's got that going for it. So I mean, and then the last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So I have 2 books that I really want to read by the end of the year. The first one being Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, because obviously, like I mentioned, Queen of Air and Darkness is one of my most anticipated reads. And so naturally I gotta read Lord of Shadows before I get to read that one. So I just have to suck it up and read it and stop being so scared that it's gonna rip my heart out and just read it. I'm excited. Like I said, plan my funeral, I am ready. So hopefully this will happen at some point this year, maybe in like September. And the last book that I want to get to this year is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I've already started it. I'm on page 44. And then I realized I'm really not in this kind of fantasy mood. I'm really not into like the high fantasy at the moment. I'm like, I just gotta take a breather. Because I didn't want to force myself to read it if I wasn't in that mood, because I really want to love this book, and so I had to put it down, which I'm very sad about. But I will return to it, and I will love it, because Tomi Adeyemi is queen, and I'm so excited for this book. That was the mid-year book freakout tag. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me. Also hit that notification bell right beside it if you want to be notified every time that I post a new video. Also, check out all my social media links that are always in the description down below if you want to see what I'm up to when I'm not filming a video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!